Hey guys, it's Steven here, back with another match preview. It's a big one as well. Manchester City head to the Emirates to play Arsenal on Sunday, and I can't wait. I'm really excited about this game. It's going to be very fun as per usual. Hopefully we'll pick up our typical Arsenal victory away at the Emirates. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Before I get into today's preview though, I want to say thank you to OneFootball, the wonderful people over at OneFootball, which is literally the only app that you need to keep up with all the football news from around the world. So if you want to nourish your phone and get all the updates, Manchester City news and all that kind of stuff and all the stats, make sure to download OneFootball right now. It's the first place you'll hear news about Sergio Aguero's contract, or maybe about Haaland coming to Manchester City and all that kind of stuff. I endorse it. I've been using it for over 2 years now, and there's a reason over 10 million people have downloaded OneFootball, and it costs absolutely 0 pence. So go and download it right now in the link in the description, and it also helps support my channel a little bit, so go and be a legend. Go and do it right now. What are you waiting for? Anyway, let's get into today's video. Hopefully, this is going to be a memorable game for many reasons. It's a big game. Of course it is. It's going to be billed as Guardiola versus Arteta, basically the apprentice versus the master again. And largely, we're pretty good against Arsenal. I think we really, we know that we tend to go to the Emirates and we do tend to win. Our record's been very good against them for a while. And it's just one of many big games at the moment. You know, we've got Arsenal, of course, then we've got the Champions League tie against Mönchengladbach, then West Ham and Man United and Mönchengladbach again. It's basically a very difficult run of games on paper, but if we get through this run of games, and all of a sudden life looks very good for us if it doesn't already. Now, of course, we're on this incredible run at the moment, unbeaten in 24 games, which is an exceptional run of form. And the last time actually we even lost, last time we trailed in a game was that Spurs game, which is a long time ago now. And Guardiola was questioned about that consistency, and he said about that, quote, "I don't know why we're consistent now. If I know, we would have been more consistent at the beginning of the season." Very droll from Pep there, but very true. He went on to say, "We try to take decisions every game. It depends on the opponent, balance of team, the locker room, many reasons. I don't know." And I guess there's an element of truth to that. It's very hard to pinpoint one reason why a team gets good, basically. More than just hard work, I guess. But he's right. I mean, it's, as usual in life, it's normally a combination of factors that lead to this kind of this improvement and this consistency. And Guardiola doesn't really know the answer, but I'm going to suspect he probably does know a few reasons why it possibly could be that. Either way, he was also asked about Mikel Arteta, and Michael Arteta, and he said, "Who's Michael Arteta?" Bloody hell. Anyway, he went to say he doesn't need help. He is more than well prepared. He's an important person in my life, especially when we were in a lot of contact during our period here at Man City. When things were going well, he made me happy, which is lovely. I like the idea of Arteta just like spooning Pep every now and then, keeping him happy. Just cuddles, and Pep, don't worry, man, everything will be okay. Lovely stuff. He went on to talk about Foden as well. He talked about Foden's future and general like versatility. He said he can play in both positions. I said many times he is so young. Phil just needs time to improve playing inside. When you play as a winger, you have to play at one tempo. When you play inside, you have to play in another one. When he gets his balance, this balance, he'll be 10 times more extraordinary as a player. It's just a question of time. And he's spot on. I guess what he's talking about there is Foden's ability to kind of slow the game down and then speed it up. At the moment, Foden is all about speed. And you do in a Guardiola team, you have to know when to keep it calm, when to keep it steady, and when to essentially go through the gears. And Foden will learn that in time. And as Guardiola said, it is just a matter of time. He'll get there because he's too intelligent a player not to get it. In terms of the team news, good news all around. Genuinely good news all around. Ilkay Gundogan was part of Manchester City's full first team training yesterday, which is great news, which means he will be checked for the Arsenal game and he could be involved according to Pep, which is brilliant. I suspect at very least he'll be on the bench for this game, which is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful stuff. I'm very delighted. And the missing man, Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake, baby. Oh, I'm missing in that song. I thought he said ho then instead of whoa. Nicola just called Nathan Ake a hoe, confirmed. Either way, he's back in training as well now. He's only training on his own, but it's good news that he's actually back in the training pitch. Fingers crossed we'll have this full supplement of our defenders very soon, because it'd be good to see Ake back, because he's had torrid times, unfortunately. In terms of the lineup, this is where it gets very difficult, because the more players that come back, great news, but the harder it becomes for me to predict a team. Now, of course, as well, we've got to bear in mind we've got Mönchengladbach, West Ham, United, and all that kind of stuff coming up. So it isn't going to be easy, and we do have to balance our squad for these games in hand. Obviously, it makes it easier for Pep to do that, given that players are coming back as well, but it makes it harder to predict these lineups. Now, the one thing that's inevitable is Ederson. Ederson will start this game, which is absolutely wonderful stuff. I reckon, actually, it's going to be a bit of a change in the back four. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. I think Cancelo will be back over to right back. Diaz will be back into the team alongside I think it might be Laporte, you know. I think it might be Laporte. No, I'm going to say Stones. Diaz and Stones. And then I'm going to say Zinchenko at left back. I think that's pretty obvious there. I reckon Laporte might play against Mönchengladbach, by the way. I think we might see Walker play against Mönchengladbach as well. For now, I'm going to say Diaz and Stones, Zinchenko and Cancelo. Midfield, it's going to be Rodri. We know that. Rodri's going to be holding there. It's almost guaranteed to play there. And this is where it gets complicated. Does he throw Kevin De Bruyne back in? Does he throw him back in? Now, if you're asking me, I think he will do. I think Kevin De Bruyne will start alongside Ilkay. Do you know what? Actually, you know what? Well, do I think he'll play? It's so difficult. Where is he going to play him? Gundogan's going to... maybe he won't. Gundogan's going to start. I think Gundogan's going to start. I think he'll be fine. So Gundogan will start, given the fact that his fitness is going to be all right. Gundogan... Maybe we'll see Gabriel Jesus drop out. Or maybe Phil Foden will drop out, unfortunately. I think it might be Phil Foden who might drop out. I reckon, because I think Bernardo's going to play, even if it's in midfield or wide. I'm going to say... Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to say he's going to drop out Gabriel Jesus, potentially. I'm going to say Bernard... I'm going to say... the forward line is going to be like this. I don't know. It's going to be Gundogan, maybe Kevin De Bruyne. So Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. Then Sterling... Foden and Bernardo. And I think Bernardo might play as a false nine, or Kevin De Bruyne will play as a false nine. I could be miles wrong, but either way, we've got a selection headache, an actual official selection headache. I don't know what he's going to do. I genuinely don't know. Kevin De Bruyne against Arsenal is more or less a given, in my opinion. It might be like De Bruyne sits on the bench, by the way, and he decides to go for a relatively unchanged team. Don't be surprised if De Bruyne kind of sits this one out. They don't take any chances, and he plays against Mönchengladbach. So we've got, do you know what? I reckon I'm going to change my team. I'm changing the team. Scrap all that back. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it as this. Or am I? I'm changing it to this. So I'm going to say you're going to be Rodri, Bernardo, Gundogan, then as it was, basically Foden, Sterling and Jesus. And I reckon, Morris will drop to the bench. And I think De Bruyne will be on the bench as well. I don't know. It's so hard. Anyway, let's go over to the opposition. Let me know down in the comments, of course, as well, what you think the team will be. It's very difficult right now, and I do not envy Pep. He will leave some players out with Mönchengladbach in mind. In terms of the opposition, anyway, I did a preview with the Don Robbie from AFTV, of course, the legend Robbie Lyle, top bloke, and I did that yesterday, so you can go and watch that here. It'll be on screen right now, and here's a short clip of it. Over to Robbie.
I am good, man. I never look forward to a game against you lot, man. You know what I mean? You're the one... I was saying to the guys earlier on, that there's a lot of teams over the past few years here, we've been having a tough time, right? But a lot of the sort of traditional big six teams, we'll go to their place and they'll beat us. But most of them, when we bring them back to the Emirates, whether it be Liverpool, whether it be Man United, Chelsea, Emirates is a different thing. When we get them back there, we'll beat them. Or the worst we'll get against those teams at the Emirates is a draw. But the one team that seems to do the same thing to us as they do at their place is City. It's been a very, very tough nut for us to crack.
If you want to watch more of that, which of course you do, make sure to open a new tab and watch it after this video. It's also over on their channel talking about it. Robbie's an absolute legend, so go check out the full video. In terms of Arsenal, they're such an inconsistent team at the moment. Look at their results. They drew against Benfica. They played a very strong team in the Europa League against Benfica. That was a big game for them, and their best chance now of getting back in the Champions League is literally winning the Europa League, given the fact that they're set down in 10th. They're literally in 10th behind Tottenham, Villa, Everton, Liverpool, West Ham, and they are currently 8 points off the Champions League. I mean, they're going to struggle to even catch up Liverpool in 6th at the moment, so they might not even get in the Europa League. I'd be surprised if they do. So everything to them is about the Benfica game. They drew 1-1 away, and they've got them. Basically, this game's in the way, so this game isn't a big deal for them potentially. I mean, they'll play obviously a strongish side, but Robbie reckons that they might even rotate a few players, and I wouldn't be surprised either, given the fact that the Benfica game is a bigger game for them. Though it is on a Thursday, so they've got a few days rest. But look at their form. They beat Leeds 4-2, good result. Lost to Villa, lost to Wolves. Drew United, which is a decent result. Then they beat Southampton away 3-1. Then lost to Southampton the game before that in the FA Cup. Beat Newcastle. They are such an enigma. Literally 1 minute they're brilliant, 1 minute they're terrible. They're such an up and down side. And they know that, basically know that. And even Guardiola was talking about how they're a very good footballing team and they play better than most opponents, but they're not picking up points. Arteta talked about Manchester City. He said, I think they're the best team in Europe at the moment. The way they are performing, the football they are playing, and the consistency of the results, take all that and it makes them the best team. I probably agree, Arteta. Thank you so much, man. And he's done an all right job so far. I mean, they've not really improved massively, but they have got signs of a style, but they do need to improve. I mean, this fixture literally has become a bit of a whipping ground for us, basically. Like, we've won 8 of our last 7 top-flight games against them. Unbeaten now in 10, stretching back to December 2015. So usually we beat them. Our record's very good against them. They have got a few concerns, injuries-wise. Thomas Partey, he's a very good player, of course, but there's no guarantee that he's going to start because he's had injuries and all that kind of stuff. Kieran Tierney could be back for this one, which would be interesting, but they might decide to just not play him and rest him for the midweek game. Did they play, I don't know, maybe they play Lacazette and rest Aubameyang? Who knows, man? Either way, Robbie reckons when I was talking to him that he might not even play Saka because it's a big game for them. All I know is it's going to be an interesting game. In terms of a prediction, well, I mean, this is obviously huge. Guardiola will be ultra composed for it and ultra ready, and we've got the squad depth now to make sure that players are fresh and rotated. I don't know what lineup's going to go with, but I reckon it'll be a strong one either way because this game's a big game, and we've got a two-legged game, of course, against Mönchengladbach, so I'm expecting that we'll take this seriously. Hopefully, play a strong team against Mönchengladbach. And then obviously, strongest team with a few players rested. And then, of course, we get the job done back in the second leg, which will be interesting. For now, though, I'm going to say Manchester City will win this 2-0. What do you reckon, Nicola, walking around in the background?
3-0.
She's going for the Manchester City Arsenal special. We usually win 3-0 against Arsenal. So Nicola's going for 3-0. She had no idea. She looked up at the sky and she went crazy and she went it. But I reckon it'll be 3-0. Sorry, 2-0. I'm going for 2-0. It's going to be an interesting game. I think we should win, though. We should win. We are a better side than them, but fingers crossed, we'll see. Guys, thank you for watching this. Go check out the video I did with Robbie as well, where I looked at Arsenal in a bit more depth and all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for all the support recently, and thank you so much to my Patreon producer, Ahmed Al-Ali, an absolute legend, and every single one of the guys scrolling down the side of the screen. I will be back as well tomorrow for a watch-along, so make sure you tune in from around 4 p.m. tomorrow. Big love to every single one of you. Have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.